Thank you, everybody, for joining us on Of Two Mindsets. There's three of us here, but this is Of Two Mindsets podcast, and we thank you for joining us today on this beautiful weekend. And today we've got an exceptional story that's going on nationwide. But before we get to that, I want to introduce everybody to some guys who don't need introductions if you watch us on a regular. We'll start off today with my man on the left, RJ. RJ, what's
Yeah.
happening? What are you working on nowadays?
What am I working? Oh, working on this Christmas list for these kids. And for the parents, that's about it.
Okay,
It's just minor things, not too much. Everybody gets one gift. That's it.
one gift.
One gift.
That's that's all they need. That's all they
Right.
need. You
Yeah.
know, I'm sure
Hmm.
you I'm sure your parents gave you more than one gift when you were a kid, but hey, one gift, that's quite appropriate.
Yeah, that's true. Times were different back then, but yeah, you're
Right,
right.
right.
Exactly right.
And on the other side, we have the other guy who brings the heat on the show, Mr. Izzy. Welcome back, Izzy. How's it going?
Everything going good, man.
Are you working on anything major these days?
Working on paying the bills. That's about it. Nah, but me and my friend, we working on an album together. So I've been working on that. About halfway finished. So
Very cool. A lot of people watching don't know that you do music of this or that
yeah,
sort.
yeah, been enjoying it lately.
Can't wait to hear that. Maybe you can do a theme song for us eventually.
Oh yeah, eventually I need to work on one actually.
That would be great. That would be great.
Hmm.
So I told you I had a surprise question for you guys. I have been learning how to do icebreakers and do a little variation with my conversation. So since I started with RJ, I'm going to ask you, Izzy. This is one of the questions I've learned to ask before we get into our main topic. Izzy, what is your superpower?
Mm.
Ooh, man, I got so many. Let's see. I can tell what kind of person someone is just by being around them, by around them a relatively short amount of time. I can tell if they straight up, if they a bullshitter. I can tell you what kind of person they. I can get the vibe from 'em. So
So
that's one of them.
intuition,
Yeah,
intuition.
intuition.
Okay,
Mm-hmm. Premonition, intuition. Yeah, all that.
okay. And RJ, what's your superpower?
Um, I'm a mediator. That's
Okay,
my superpower. You know.
explain.
Well, I'm the person, I say most times, many times that, the family will come to, I'll be the one, you reach out to him. You know what I'm saying? That I'm that guy.
Uh,
I'm the guy in the middle that's kind of cool with everybody.
you can set things up, make connections between people, and make sure
Right.
it
And
goes the way it's supposed to go.
and the same thing kind of goes at work. I feel myself falling into that role at my workplace as well. So yeah,
Okay,
that's
pretty cool. Yeah,
that's my superpower.
that's one of those questions you can use to appear a little bit different to people than regular. How's it going? So I just wanted to share that with y'all. So we'll go ahead and get into our subject today.
What's your
Yeah.
superpower, brother?
What
You
What
can't, you
about you,
can't.
brother? What about you?
Yeah.
Yeah, I
And
tried
you
to get
tell us
away.
this is of two mindsets. Anything, this is not just D's mindset. What's up?
That's
What's your
right.
what's your
That's
thought,
right.
brother?
I think that my superpower were is that I have become, as I've gotten older, very empathic. I think that's the word.
Mm,
Understanding how people are truly feeling without having to ask them or by looking through their actual words. I've learned how people are really feeling, whether that's how they're feeling about me or feeling about the environment we're in or the situation. I've learned to read people's thoughts, so to say, not in a Professor X kind of way, but maybe a few levels below Professor X, I'd say. Yeah.
mm,
I understand people very much so, and I'd say I do better than most people nowadays. Yeah. So that's my superpower.
I like that. I like empathy is a good thing. I believe. I like that.
Yeah. Yeah. So in the news this week, and it's really something that appears to be international, are drones. At least we're calling them drones. They look like drones from the video that we've been seeing, and they appear to be these people are saying that they are the size of cars, like minivan size, and they're flying over. It started in New Jersey, and now I've seen news articles of them in different places on the West Coast and up and down the East Coast. So we talked about this. I'll start with Izzy. What do you think, briefly, is going on here? What do you think is happening?
Well, people first thought would be that they are UFOs, unidentified flying objects. I mean, a UFO can describe extraterrestrial craft like alien, or it could just be a military craft, and that's what I lean more towards. I think it's military, and they're probably running some kind of simulation to see what people's mind states are as far as that subject. I mean, because aliens been out here, so what is making them focus on this kind of thing now? And I would lean more towards a distraction or some kind of simulation they're trying to run um to get something done psychologically in the mind of the people. So that's what I lean more towards. I
RJ,
seen the video.
I'm sorry, say that again, Izzy.
Oh man, I was just gonna say I seen the video, and I can almost guarantee it's military.
RJ, as Izzy was saying, we've actually been hearing of these types of issues, well, not issues or events and sightings for months. But this particular thing that's going on in New Jersey, in particular, is a lot of sightings, and that's why it's in the news. What do you think is happening?
I agree with Izzy in the fact that I think I don't think it's like some extraterrestrial uh craft or whatever. I believe it's the government craft, but I don't agree with the premise that they're testing. I think I personally this is just my belief or my opinion. I think it's in response to something. I think if it was a test, I don't know. I just think it's something that the military is doing in response to something that actually is happening. And the fact that they're not saying anything, it's like you have, there's two different governments really. You have your elected officials
Right.
that kind of really don't know too much. Like I was reading Senator one of the New Jersey state senators, John Bramnick, he basically said the government, which is so funny to me, he said the government doesn't want us to know. It's like I'm thinking to myself, well, you are the
You
government,
are the
but you're not
government.
really the government. You're just you're a guy, you're a jag or whatever. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But I do believe it is the federal government. The authoritative government, the government that really runs things, that has these drones up in place. But I think, like I said, I think they have to be doing something because if it was just like how we had, what was it, a couple years ago, maybe it was last year when they had the Chinese weather balloon floating over the United
Right.
States.
Right.
They quickly identified that as what it was. You know what I'm saying? They said it was a Chinese weather balloon, blah blah blah. Eventually they shot it down over, I think it was Kansas. I don't recall where they shot it down at. These things are not being shot down. So they have to be
Exactly.
either they have to be military or something. If it was something else, they would have shot it down already. I believe. I don't know.
Or tried to at least.
Or trying to
Yeah.
exactly. Yeah. So that's my personal. I think it is the government, but I think they're doing something. I don't know what they're doing, but they're doing something. They're doing something. Maybe precautionary for something else is happening. Who knows?
Yeah, I agree. I agree with both of you guys. The White House came out and said there appears to be no credible threat, which is the weirdest thing in the world to say. and suggests to me that this is obviously either something that our taxes are paying for, aka a military or government owned, or or extraterrestrial, which
Right.
I don't think it's extraterrestrial. It
Well,
could be.
it's funny that that senator that I talked about, he also went on to say that uh he, like he said the government knows something is something that they don't want to alarm the public. Basically, he's saying that they don't want people to freak out because it is something bigger
Yeah,
than what it
yeah.
really is.
The
Uh,
fact that they're using drones, so drones can be used for a lot of different things. Now, if these are the size that people say they are, there's no reason you should think they aren't. They're the size of minivans or cars, basically. That means they could have weapon systems on them. They could have any type of deterrent systems or, EMPs. Well,
or they can be manned. I mean, not only that,
could
they
very well
call them
be.
drones, but people could actually be inside the drones if they're that large. You know what I mean?
No, they're
So
just
Right,
calling them. They're just calling them drones now. It hasn't been confirmed that they are drones.
right,
They could
yeah,
be.
right.
right.
They I like I said, I believe they're military, but I mean, it could be military, extraterrestrial, or the drones, which still would be military, but we're just using the word drone, but it hasn't been confirmed. So, but a lot of people are thinking that they're setting us up for what a lot of people believe to be an event to where they are like Project Blue Beam. You ever heard of that? Like where they use
No,
Yes,
holograph?
I've heard of it.
Huh?
I've not heard
Yeah.
that. Could you
So,
elaborate on it, brother? I'm
well, a lot of people believe. Well, y'all know the kind of stuff I'm into,
well.
so a lot of people.
I like hearing what you got to say. So let me hear
Yeah,
what you got.
yeah. A
Tell
lot of
me
people
about it.
believe they setting us up for something like that, where they will project like the Messiah coming down or like spacecrafts in the sky. So that's what it got to deal with. So a lot of people think they setting us up for a major event like that. So that's why they bringing this out now.
Mm.
I,
So
I can I think it is a preparation for something. They're seeing what type of, and this is conjecture totally on my behalf. They're trying to see how the public is going to react to this type of event. Let's say, for instance, if it was extraterrestrial, and it's obviously a test of some sort. It doesn't make sense that they either have not shot these things down or taken some effort to remove them from the skies. There doesn't appear to have been any type
mhm.
of okay. For instance, Friday in Stewart, New York, I think it's called. Yeah, Stewart International Airport. It's actually in New York City. They had to shut down the airport because these drones, as they're calling them, were causing issues at the airport. So,
Really?
and yeah, yeah. So this is not something that's just um, the run of the mill. It's a problem that is actually major,
Yeah,
not like usual.
exactly.
Yeah, and it's going to continue. I just wanted to share this with you all. Are you able to see the?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, as we can see here, drone sighting temporarily shuts down runways at New York Airport, and this is on ABC News. So it's really become an issue, and I can't wait to see. Well, I also think, even though it's a major issue, I'm willing to bet a month from now is going to be no sign of anything. I think it's just going to disappear. They're going to
I agree.
land them,
I agree.
and it's going to be like nothing ever happened as far as the government's concerned. And then we're all going to go back to life as normal. Tell us why you agree, Izzy.
I just agree. I can see that happening. Like, because there's a lot of things that pop up in the news. It's like, where the hell this come from all of a sudden? And then the thing, you don't hear nothing else about it. I
Right.
mean, my thing is this stuff been out here. Like, why are y'all just not bringing it up now? Like, see, anytime they do stuff like that, I know they trying to do something. You just never know. All we can do is make assumptions. It's just like during elections. how they start ramping up, talking about police brutality. It's been there the whole time. Now y'all ramping it up. You see what I'm saying? Like I've been seeing stuff in the sky. Why? What make it important now to bring it up? That's why I'm saying it's either a distraction or they setting this up for something. We just don't know what it is. But I can see that a couple of months down the road, won't even hear nothing else about this.
I
But then
agree.
again, we don't know because they've been doing disclosures and stuff in Congress. They started doing that earlier this year. Remember that?
Yeah, and
Yeah.
I agree. I think
Disclosures
it's
and
been
stuff.
a slow ramp up. Like
Yeah,
I said, with the congressional hearings on UFOs, this is the kind of like the next step, if you will. And
Yeah. So
right.
as I'm uh,
RJ, you made some predictions at the beginning of the year. Ease us into that. Start with what you told us at the beginning of the year, and let us know what's coming.
I just from rolling back, those congressional
Yeah.
hearings. It's just kind of funny to me how they took it so or they take it so seriously, like this UFO thing. They're not necessarily saying that they are alien, but they're
Right.
what's the other word they use for
Non-human. Um,
Entities.
no,
I
no,
don't
no,
think they
no,
said
the other
entity.
word they use for UFO, they're using a different word for UFO.
Anomalous,
UA, yeah.
unidentified anomalous um, vehicles or
Well, yes, what would it
phenomena.
UAV.
Phenomena.
yes,
Unidentified anomalous phenomena.
right.
UAP.
Right. So basically saying, saying it may not be something out of this world, but it's just something that we don't recognize. So it's
But
just
why not just say UFOs? I mean, it's like they always trying to damn
I can
just
tell you why.
control the narrative, man. Like, and just
I can tell you why.
why?
So UFO, of course, stands for unidentified flying objects. So
Mm-hmm.
the problem with the phrase UFO is the word flying. So flying suggests that there are either propellers or some type of propulsion unit, or that there are wings and something to direct the air. The problem is with these things that have been appearing, none of those none of those things are present on these vehicles. There's
right.
nothing that suggests flying. They're moving in ways that is not congruent with what flying is defined as. That's why they changed the name.
I don't know if that's the reason why, because I mean, flying saucers don't have wings. They would move by some kind of zero energy point means or magnetic or whatever. So I can't really see that being the reason why. I think they
Right.
just
They changed the name. Nobody says flying saucers
Right.
anymore
And
as
and I
far
think
as
to your
these.
point, it's a propulsion. It's like a magnetic force or something else based
Yeah,
on
we were
based on
talking
Earth
about
moving
this a
around.
few
Yeah,
months ago, and I said it looks like someone has figured out how to use the Earth's magnetic field, and
exactly.
because if you take magnets and you play with a metal thing, that's how these things are moving, as
Right.
if they're moving between two magnets.
Right. Exactly. Yeah.
But Izzy, I'm not necessarily disagreeing with what you're saying, but I did see a so-called expert. He said that that's the reason they refer to them as UAPs as opposed to UFOs
I
now.
thought it was UAVs. I've never heard of the UAP
Yeah,
thing, but
it's UAP phenomenon, unidentified aerial phenomena,
Yeah. But back to my point.
anomalous phenomena.
My prediction at the beginning of this year was that by the end of this year we would have something like this, and it's coming around. And we'll see. We still got a couple weeks left. I mean, we'll see what happens with this. I'm just very curious to see what the outcome is, or whether it'll be a big nothing burger. Like I said, another 2 weeks, uh, we won't be talking. But I think we will be talking about this. We'll see, especially
See,
when Trump actually gets into office. He's mentioned stuff about it. He basically said, just shoot
yeah,
him. That's just how he said.
right. So
Uh,
let's dive into that. Izzy, what does the future look like if this turns out to be uh, extraterrestrials or aliens, for lack of a better word? Izzy?
Well, with it being publicly known, because I know they're already here.
So yes,
Um,
publicly known.
People gonna have to readjust their belief systems. I mean, people gonna have to start readjusting their belief systems. I mean,
Why?
well, because for the longest time, I know most, especially Christians, have thought we were the only ones here. Truth will have to come out, and I believe like if that does come out, it'll be some truth about historical events that we believe in. We should be getting some truths about those things. I believe it's going to change people's perspective on how we see the past. A lot of this religious stuff, but the like Indians, they talk about the wars of the flying machines, like the Vimanas and stuff, in some of their holy books. So it's not unknown in some religious aspects. So um, I just think it's gonna change people's perspectives on life. But do I think they're gonna roll it out fast like that? No, I don't. It's like RJ said, it's gonna be a slow burn. So
But you say fast. It's been going on for months though, years actually.
Years. I mean, at least 2 years, at least 2 or 3 years. So
Right.
it's kind of since COVID, right? You know what I'm saying? Everybody
well, I
had
mean, personally, I believe the government been in contact with extra dimensional entities and extraterrestrial entities for a long time. I mean, if you go back and look at a lot of ancient people, they have been seeing spacecraft for centuries. It's in paintings, it's in writings. So I mean, will I be excited? Yeah, I think it's time. It's time to mix this shit up a little bit. I think it's just time, just bring the truth on out. So
RJ,
I mean,
yeah.
I would be happy. I would be
RJ,
happy about it.
what's it
Yes.
gonna what's gonna be what's gonna happen should that occur, that actual aliens or extraterrestrials are revealed to us?
I find it uh, interesting, now that Trump is our president now, and knowing the people that supported Trump, saying that their type of mentality. I don't think if it was aliens, if, I don't. It's gonna be combative. You know what I'm saying? Put it that way. It's
Combative.
That's an understatement.
Uh, yeah, it's not gonna be like what was the movie E.T.? It's not gonna be nothing
Right.
like that.
Nothing like that.
It's gonna be like War of the Worlds. It's gonna be that kind of scenario. It's not gonna be any love.
Oh man.
Um, yeah.
I also think that they may be trying to get ahead of the ball too, because I think maybe aliens are ready to present themselves, so they trying to get ahead of it. I've thought about many scenarios. I don't know.
Wait, I'm sorry. Say that once again. You thought aliens are trying to.
Well. I think I'm in a lot of communities. Like I guess you would call them like conspiracy, a lot of spiritual stuff. So what I'm hearing is that they are ready to reveal themselves, and I
Okay.
really feel like the government may be trying to get ahead of the situation. So that's just one.
So that would suggest so
Possibility.
these beings have somehow communicated to the
Yeah,
government that it's
that's
time,
yeah.
and now the government is
No, not to
prepared.
the government. Not to the government. People do channeling. People have come in contact um, with certain beings, and what I'm hearing is that it's time for the Anunnaki, the Netters or the Neteru, to reveal themselves. So
So
Oh, I
who?
got some pretty questions, but for real,
Go ahead,
why?
RJ.
Why? Just why? I mean, just
well, you asking my personal opinion?
yes. It's time for
Well,
the.
y'all know
Go
I'm,
ahead.
I'm gonna give you my personal opinion. Spiritually, I think it's because we've entered the Aquarian age, and it's like the age of truth. And the motto for Aquarius age is "I know." So I think it's just time for the truth to come out, and that's the reason why.
Mm.
All right.
Like, you know, the Cat William thing where he was saying a lot of things gonna be revealed.
Yeah.
A lot of things have been getting revealed. A lot of people been getting locked up. So people looking at it like Cat was telling the truth. I actually think he really a double agent. And that's their way of kind of controlling the narrative. The power, the earthly powers that be. But they just don't understand that the Most High will always use what they do for good, regardless of how they do it. But it's just the time, it's just the age of revealing. So that's why I believe all this stuff coming out right now.
Very interesting. So here's a question for you, RJ, on a different subject. Why would aliens need lights on their spaceships?
They wouldn't. That's why I said I don't think they would need lights. Our vehicles would need lights. I think. You know what I'm saying? So that's why initially that's why I think they have to be government drones, if you will, is what we're calling them. I don't
Yeah.
think aliens spaceships would need lights.
Yeah, even the
Or
ones from the
I
past.
or
Why
I've
not?
heard.
Why
Hmm?
wouldn't you put lights on it?
You would
Well,
think an advanced civilization would have gone to a point where they don't need the type of lights that we need anyway, where visible light, maybe they use radar or some type of advanced detection. So the drones that are sold to the public that you can get a license to fly, they have to have lights on them in order to be seen. You're not really supposed to fly them in certain places, but they have to have lights on them so that they can be seen. You know, get hit by a helicopter or airplane or something, and there's different reasons for it. But if you're an extraterrestrial, and the assumption is that they would be higher intelligence than us, visible light probably wouldn't be necessary. That's just my opinion.
mm,
That's not true though, because but you really said the answer to be seen.
Mm. Okay,
Then
yeah,
you got to
yeah,
think. Then you got to think within the Earth's atmosphere, a terror craft. Why wouldn't you have lights on? You still have to go by the laws of physics. You need to be able to see. Now in space, it may work different, but yeah,
right.
why wouldn't you have? Yeah, it wouldn't make sense not to have lights on a vehicle. I mean, yeah, or just to be seen.
okay. I can
I'm
feel you on
excited though, man. I hope more. I hope more is
that.
revealed.
It is
You,
exciting.
and
I would like for there to. I agree with you.
Mm.
I've actually seen a UFO before though. So I mean,
Tell us
and I've
about it.
seen one pretty up close. Well, you know, coming from the country, you know, going to visit grandma, I used to see them in the sky all the time. Cause you know, down there ain't no city lights, and you pretty much can see whatever. So just seeing stuff streak across the sky, stop, go to opposite stuff, doing stuff that planes and helicopters can't do. So I quickly learned the difference between planes, helicopters, and UFOs. They don't have traditional lights, and the main lights that you will see on them, they are like red, green, and blue,
Mm,
but they operate different than the lights you'll see. They don't blink. They like flicker,
mm.
and their mobility is light years away from what a plane and a helicopter can do. Now that's seeing them way up, but I also see one up close. One day I was at the store and I was doing my thing, and I decided to go home, and I had to walk, so I was walking, and I probably
Uh,
had
what does doing your thing mean?
Yeah.
That shit don't matter. That don't matter. But it was like I had to walk, and it was like 2 miles.
Uh,
So I was about half. I was about halfway there, and going down the hill. And I keep my head on the swivel in this area because there's a lot of dogs and stuff. So some just said look. Some just said look up, and I mean it was perfect because I just heard a voice in my head said look up. I looked up, and it was a spacecraft. It could have. It probably was about I say close, but it was bigger. It had to be. it wasn't like where I could just walk to my car right here, but it was like if I had to estimate, maybe a couple of 100 yards above me, but I could see it.
Wow.
It was a shape like a cylinder, and it was orange and black. But the black parts of it were like a deep black, like you couldn't. It was almost like you could damn near see through it. But the orange part was like vibrant, but the light didn't. It shined, but it didn't shine like how you got a light bulb, and you can like see the streaks of light.
Mm.
The light was contained around the craft, and it didn't make no noise. I just happened to look up, and I mean, it was going fast, but it was like it was going slow. I was able to process it, and I was just like, "Damn, I just saw a UFO," and it just shot, and I mean, no noise, and it was going. So I've seen one up close.
Well, that's consistent with what other people are saying. So you didn't get no doubt from me, bro.
Yeah. Hmm.
RJ, have you seen one?
Um, when I was a kid, you know, we basically all thought we were. I think we were at a fair or something like that. I think we all thought we saw something in the sky. So I have vague recollection of it. But it was something that when I was a child, I remember we all looked up and thought we saw basically a UFO. So I can't confirm or negate,
Understood.
but it's very interesting though, is it what you say? But you know,
Well, when you talk about stuff like this, man, you cannot try to get people to believe you. You just can tell them your experience because
right.
if people haven't experienced it, it's just like it didn't happen. But it happened, man. It's not a belief. I know what I saw, and it was a UFO. Wasn't no airplane, wasn't no helicopter, and I don't think this was military. I think this was the real thing.
I think
Um,
that as these years and months go by, more and more people are going to believe stories like yours. So I don't think I think that that mindset is changing. I mean, we got congressional hearings on the subject, so it's foolish for anybody to, yeah, they might say you telling a lie or something, but
I
To
the
wouldn't
over
say that.
a
the
benefit
general,
though, it's that's the thing though. For anyone that does say that, what do they benefit from it? There is no benefit. I mean,
right? Exactly.
you
There's
get
no
called a
benefit.
crazy person. It's not like you benefit monetarily or even I don't
Well,
know.
some people just want to be a part of the conversation. So some
True.
people probably will lie, but
That's
I
true.
don't need to be a part of the conversation. This was like 15, 16, 17 years ago. So, yeah, but stuff like that, I'm so used to. I mean, I done seen ghosts. I done seen UFOs, all kind of stuff. I think when you focus on certain things, they are attracted to you.
Mm.
Um, like I always tell people, you want to learn something, you got to start learning it. And the source itself will bring it to you. That's what the law of attraction is about, whether it's for money or information. And so I seek this kind of stuff. So the more you do, the more it's gonna come to you, regardless whether you're seeking it or not. So, um, like I said, I done seen ghosts. You remember when my granddaddy died? I heard his voice like in the middle of the night calling my grandmama. Um, I seen a ghost one time in my mama room. I think it was attached to Grandma Irene's dresser because
Mm.
she was at the dresser. Yeah, she was at the dresser, and this was the only time I seen this lady. It was a lady with a short lady. She looked white, but she may have been light skinned. I think she was a light skinned black woman, and she looked like back in the day, like probably like before grandma time. But she had on a white dress, and she was at the dresser, and she turned around and looked at me. I walked the hell out, and I went back into my room. And that was
Right.
the only time I saw her. But they did get rid of that dresser, and I never seen her again. So,
Probably that's probably a good thing then. So
well, she wasn't evil though.
I
She didn't
got you.
she didn't give me that vibe. It was just like I think she was attached to that dresser. So whoever she
Like an
was,
armoire. When you say dresser, what kind of those walk-in
it
dresses?
was an old style dresser. My grandma Irene gave to my daddy and my mama. back in the day, and they had to get rid of it 'cause it had fell apart. But she was attached to that. You know what a dresser is, don't you? It
Yeah,
was a tall dresser too, probably like
armoire.
no, it was a dresser, but it was just tall, probably about 5 feet,
Yeah,
5 feet
that's,
high
That's
with
that's
funny.
uh,
Different people call them different things.
yeah, armoire dresser. Now armoire to me is
Could you walk into it or not?
huh?
Could you walk into this dresser? Like,
Like
did it have
No,
what?
doors you could walk into it?
no.
Oh, okay.
It just had drawers,
Yeah, it had drawers. That's why I call it a dresser.
Okay, okay,
right?
okay. All right,
Yeah,
okay,
I call that a dresser too.
okay.
Yeah.
All right,
Yeah.
so good.
Yeah,
RJ is
armoire
from
is
RJ
the
is
one
from the
you can
north.
open up.
RJ is from the north. They do things differently and call things differently
Yeah.
there. So
See, to me, an
Izzy,
armoire is the one you can open up like
Yeah,
that.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
right?
yeah.
That's what I
Yeah.
would call a house.
Okay, that's what I thought you were referring to. But no, okay. So it
Mhm.
is a dresser. All right. A big dresser.
Izzy,
Yes.
Izzy, you wanted to talk about the new age. You want to go into that?
Oh well, we basically been talking about it. I think it's just time. I keep saying think, but and believe, but it's time for just truth to prevail. Truth to prevail, and they are trying to control the narrative. And this election, this past election, had a lot to do with it. It's just time for the old system to fall, and they doing everything they can to keep it from falling. And but they can't stop it though. So Trump being in office was a part of them trying to control it and
So
keep.
okay. So you think if Kamala would have been elected, we would have seen a push to the new age?
No,
No?
do I think it would have been a push? See, they all work for the same people. It's just different sides. Who's gonna control? Who's gonna get the control of what's going on?
Hmm,
That's all. That's all it is.
gotcha.
They two different wings on the same bird. Literally, I don't know why people go so crazy for the elections, but the new age,
Hmm.
they're gonna put whoever in there to push whatever narratives they have, and so Trump just fit that. But it's nothing they can do to stop it. So the more as time go on, a lot more stuff gonna be revealed. Um, I think a lot of more people gonna get locked up. If you notice, a lot of these sex rings, people been getting locked up lately and caught. I done seen a lot of people recently on social media and on the news of them breaking up a lot of these sex trafficking rings. A lot more of that gonna start happening. The UFO things and information and more information is gonna start coming out, but useful information
Mm.
because it's just time. It's just time. Like I said, we're in the age of Aquarius, so it's time for people to wake up, especially Black people in America, mainly Black people in America, because once we wake up, everybody else wake up. So, but it's a good thing. It's a
Sounds
good
good.
thing.
Sounds good. RJ, any other comments on this subject?
Um, not no, but it's funny. It says it kind of that leads me into. I'm not sure you're ready for my wrath yet, but
We are ready for the wrath of RJ. Let's do
okay.
it, brother. Our first witnessing of the wrath of RJ. What you got for us?
The election is over. Take down your Trump signs. I'm tired of driving around my neighborhood seeing these Trump signs still up for what? He won the election. We know you won the election. When the insurrection happened, people think these same people that had the Trump signs up, they took them down immediately. They were gone right after the insurrection because the government was coming for those people because they thought they were the ones that were up in there. So their Trump signs are down, but now they're back up and they still up. Take them down. Your man won. It's over.
Yeah, they are still up. I can tell you that, and they
Yeah,
proud of it.
they
They
still up.
waved
They
that.
proud. They're so
It,
happy.
it's the American flag. It's the Dixie flag. Then it's the Trump flag. Like they
It's
they got it
crazy,
over.
man.
in full mass with the other flags.
It's
You know,
he might as well have a flag. He might as well
Yeah.
give him a flag too, a Trump flag, a blue Trump flag, a blue Trump flag. That'd be
well,
hot.
Well,
I guess that's
they
what
getting
the
ready
Make
to be
America Great.
disappointed though.
Yeah. Hmm.
I guess the flag is the Make America Great
Right.
um, logo thingy. Yeah. All right.
Hey, can I say something?
Sure.
I think the Trump supporters they finna be real disappointed because everybody think he finna send all these immigrants back, the illegals back. I don't think so.
Man, you forget that. They so stupid.
I don't think so. I'm gonna tell you why though. I'm gonna tell you this
Who gonna
ain't
cut
just
their grass?
this ain't just conjecture or just an opinion, huh?
I said, who gonna cut their grass then? They're crazy. They ain't sending nobody back.
Right, right. Because like when we was talking about the election and I was talking about BlackRock, and both of them were taking pointers from BlackRock. They need somebody to buy these houses up. They need somebody to buy these houses up. And I think that's why they have been letting all these immigrants in here. Because see, we're Americans not buying them because what they saying is the housing crisis. It's plenty of houses out here. They just too damn expensive. You know what I mean? So people cannot buy them. And I think that's why they brought them people over here. Not only that, but for the cheap labor. Because we ain't working for peanuts no more. So
Right.
I don't think they're gonna send them folks back, man.
No, I
Now
don't
they
believe.
gonna
I don't
send
believe
a
so either.
few, but they gonna send a few. They definitely sending all the black ones back, all the Haitians and all them. They ass going back, but
Every one of them.
yeah, they going back. But the ones from South America, nah, they ain't going back.
So
No.
Now
what is
most of them they'll
what
send
is
enough back just to put on the news, and then that's gonna be it.
what is Trump
So
going to do to please his constituency if he's not sending those people back?
I mean, they control the news, the press. So, like I say, they're gonna send enough back to make a hoopla on the news, and everybody be satiated. But how will you know whether they send them back?
Good
You
point.
won't know. It's another one of
You
those.
won't know.
Just like this whole trans thing it's like it makes such a big deal of it, like trans people are infested in the neighborhoods and whatnot, or infested in your kid's high school football team. They made such a big deal about nothing stories. It's crazy, it's bizarre.
Right. I can agree with that because a lot of these things that in our daily lives is we don't see these problems and don't think about them.
And
You
they
know,
don't either. The people that harp on it the most, they don't see them. Like they complain about these people from other countries, but when do they encounter them? When do they run into them? They
and
don't.
let's talk about the so-called illegal aliens or
Right.
people migrating, and let's say specifically from Mexico and South America. I don't think of the three of us, I don't think any of us have competed for jobs with any of those people.
No.
Izzy, am I wrong about that?
Not of recent, but when I used to do construction, I mean, I used to hear the foremans complaining about the Mexicans though, because what they have done is they have come in and underbid a lot of
Mm.
companies, and they've been doing it since the early '90s, probably the '80s. I mean, but my work just started, when I was in my teenage years, and I started doing like certain stuff dealing with construction. But I'm talking about white men, black men. I've heard them complain, and a lot of companies have gone under. So it's not something that hasn't had an effect. It has definitely had an effect. And see, what people don't understand is because it don't affect you, don't mean it's not affecting someone,
Right.
and
Absolutely.
doesn't mean that. And it may be affecting you, and you just don't know it. And see, I had a Kamala Harris supporter tell me, what she said, y'all need to leave them Mexicans alone because they ain't hurt nobody. They don't bother me. Down, but you work behind a counter at a gas station. Yeah, they probably don't bother you, but to the people that feed their family doing construction, it bothered them because they've been undercutting people for so long. Nobody
Mm.
want to just come out and say that. That's what
But
it
but
is.
but the
Now,
the thing about that though, Izzy, and I can confirm what you're saying is true from my past experience at a construction plant. The people that are hiring them are Americans. They know, and I know it's 100% fact from my job. They knew that these people were not documented Americans. Yet,
mhm.
because, like you
Yeah,
said, they they worked for less, they hired them. So it's the American corporation greed. It's their issue. These
yeah, they
same people
need to be locked up
that
too.
are
They
Republican
need to be locked
supporters,
up.
right?
Yeah, yeah. Because it's not that we won't do the jobs that they do, is that we just not willing to do it for nothing. You
Right.
know, that is the problem. But they definitely have done a number on our
But
economy. What are
they've
you
been
talking
allowed to
about?
do it. If someone didn't allow them to
Hmm.
do it, it wouldn't happen. You know,
Right.
so
I agree.
you can't blame them really.
Right.
They do what they
And
got to
my
survive.
to me, they don't add. I'm talking about illegals. I ain't talking about people that came here. You know, I want people to get offended with. I really don't give a damn. But they don't add nothing to our economy. Cause like I say, they circulate their dollars within their own little enclave, and pretty much that's it. And so like they don't add nothing back to our neighborhoods, and it's just like I don't know. I'm just tired of it. I'm just tired of it. You know.
So
You know,
yeah,
and
that's
Well,
why I
I
wanted
didn't
to
ask,
ask you.
brother. Hold on. You hold
Go
on,
ahead,
Izzy.
go ahead, go ahead, RJ.
I don't think we talked in a while. So, did you vote for Trump? Did you, or
no,
did you
I
vote?
didn't.
Huh?
No, you know I don't vote, man.
Okay. All right. I mean,
I don't believe in voting for the lesser of two evils, and really, it's no lesser for two evil because, like I said, they work for the same people.
got you.
So that whole concept of voting for the lesser two evil is foolishness. They both the same.
Dig
They
it.
just push different narratives, and that's it.
Let's talk for a moment. You don't vote. Uh, is there any system in which you would vote there, and why not vote instead of voting for the presidency? Why not vote, as they say, down ballot for your local government? Do you vote in your local government elections and whatnot?
I don't. But my whole thinking is, man, I don't I don't want just a better spot like in this system. I want this shit to fall.
Mm.
That's how I personally feel. It's so corrupt that it's no reformation for this. It's no rejuvenation of this system. It just need to fall, and we need to build it back from the ashes. That's how I feel.
All right.
Yeah.
Mm.
I hear you. I hear you. Well,
I think that's a topic for another show because I would venture to believe that a large number, I won't say a large number, but there are quite a few people that feel the way Izzy does.
I would say there is a large
Okay.
number, and it's a large number of not only people that look like Izzy, but people that don't look like Izzy
Right.
that want that same thing. Yeah,
Right.
Oh, plenty that don't look like me that feel that
I
way.
know.
They the
I know.
ones that, yeah, they get out here and actually be doing some stuff. You know what I mean? But yeah, I don't see no reformation for this system, man. It's like our government is corrupt from top to bottom. It can't be helped. I don't give a damn who you vote in. It probably is one or two good senators, one or two good people in the House of Representatives, but
But as you can see from this whole drone thing, it's like there's no transparency. It's like they get in, but they really don't know anything, or you know what I'm saying?
Uh,
right.
They can only do what they're allowed to do. I guess there's really
yeah,
no real change that they can actually accomplish. Uh,
Yeah,
yeah.
it's time for
There's.
some.
Go ahead, Izzy.
No, I was just gonna say it's just time for a change, man. It's time for the truth. It's time for the old system to fall. It's time for healing. The world need to heal, man. Like I think most of the disasters that happen in this world are orchestrated. I honestly do. It's just too much shit that go on every day. I don't believe that's the world. I just don't believe that's the world. I think it's created. I actually do. I think it's created, and it's to keep people always in a state of fear and just always having to keep your head on a swivel.
Mm.
All this stuff is manufactured, man. All this stuff is manufactured. It just need to fall, man. The government put drugs out on the street. They could do something about crime. They don't. They got all the resources in the world, man. They got all the resources in the world. They don't try. I mean, it's about self. It's just time for a change. It's just time for a change, man. And I think the people, I don't think I know, the people want it. The people want it. When I saw them folks in China fighting against the government for better working conditions before they put out COVID, that's why they put that shit out. I said, man, these folks are tired.
Oh,
They're tired.
we used to be like that in the 60s.
Yeah,
We were like that. Then we got complacent. It's like,
got
well,
complacent.
take it step back. They killed all the people that were running the show or leading the movement. They killed all of them. You know, the Kennedys, Martin Luther King, Malcolm X. They killed Medgar Evers. They killed all the people that were basically leading the movement, and
All of
Yeah.
them.
all of them. They killed them all.
And guess what? Infiltrated every organization. They done infiltrated every organization. The FBI and the CIA, they done infiltrated every organization. I don't think it's one major organization that is completely autonomous. I don't give a damn if you're talking about the NAACP. I don't give a damn if you're talking about the KKK. I don't care if you're talking about the Muslims, like with Farrakhan and them. I think they all have been infiltrated.
Mm.
They all have been infiltrated.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
Anybody that tries to change anything, going towards a different direction, they get rid. They get rid of them. Look what they did to Gaddafi when he started talking about an African Union and trading, making oil and
Right.
one could buy oil with gold or what they were trying to do. They were trying to get off the They were trying to get off the dollar. And he was trying to create. They got rid of him.
Yeah. Yeah, because he had been a so-called bad guy for years, but he crossed the real line, like you said, when he tried to unite Africa. That was like, oh no,
Uh,
you can't do that, brother.
yeah, and
No.
see, that's another thing that got to change. And that's going to be revealed as time move forward. A lot of the figures in history that the United States made people think are the bad guys, they really were not. And a lot of people that in history we believe are the good guys, they're not.
yeah,
They're not. I
that is
think all is going to
definitely
be revealed.
becoming more obvious as more and more people become historians and reveal those things for sure. For sure.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So it's time for a change, Diedrich. Dee Hill, excuse me.
All right. Well, RJ, we appreciate you taking a break from watching the Cowboys beat up on the Panthers.
You know what? The Cowboys suck so bad. You know, the Falcons are not playing today. Normally, the Cowboys would be on TV because the Falcons aren't playing. They suck so bad. They're not
They,
even on television today.
good grief.
That's terrible.
What's their record right now?
I think they got 3 or 4 wins. 4-7 or something like that. 4-8. They stink. They're winning right
Straight
now, but they stink.
Yeah.
Falcons stink too. Falcons. I don't know what's up with them Falcons. Yeah.
They're just being Falcons. That's
Yeah,
all.
they're just doing Falcon stuff.
And Izzy, we appreciate you taking a break from your cabbage and whatever else you were eating
Oh, I
beforehand.
actually went and bought some cabbage and kale, so I'm gonna cook both of them. I'm gonna cook them together. I should have got some greens like Grandma used to do. She used to cook mix sometimes with the cabbage and the green, but I got kale. But I also bought me a
Do,
sub sandwich
do
because
do you like your cabbage crunchy? I like how you like your cabbage. How do you do your cabbage?
I don't like mine mushy. I can tell you
I
that.
don't like it either.
I like a little bite on mine.
I
Like
like it a little
I don't
push.
like mine mushy. I don't like no food mushy.
Yeah. I
Only
like
thing
my
I can eat
cabbage
soft
a little bit
maybe
crunchy
collard
too.
greens, but I don't. Yeah, I don't like mushy food. Period.
Yeah, that I made
So,
some good cabbage. Not recently, but I added like green pepper in it, and it gave it like a little like a
Mm,
green pepper added a more crunch to it. It was good. Good
that
stuff.
sounds good.
yeah,
That
Yeah, it was
sounds
good. Yeah.
yeah. So I ain't finna do that. Kick my feet up. I've been on this anime. I've been watching called Bleach. They got a new arc out, so I've been watching that. I'm still in season one, so I'm
good. All right.
that's
Well, we're
that.
gonna
And we're on to music. What you about to do, DJ? I mean, D Hill.
the first thing I'm going to do is end this podcast for today and thank both of you for joining us. It's been great. RJ, we enjoy your Wrath of RJ and hope to see plenty more. It was very
Yeah.
entertaining.
All right.
And Izzy, as always, it's a pleasure to see you. And
Peace.
everybody, if you would, if you're still with us, please go ahead and hit subscribe, hit the like button. I don't know if you guys can hear my dog. She's crying for some attention right now. But thank you for joining of Two Mindsets. Peace.
Peace.
Peace.